Oh man, that's hilarious, dude.
What a night! What a night! What a week!
I know. This is incredible, man.
Am
So
I
many
psychic
things
or
in
what, bro? Am I
so many
psychic?
things that you called out in ufology years ago, man, are coming true, like one after the other, and
It's crazy.
like more evidence continues to pile up. More people who continue to join the force and join the investigations, and this is just hilarious. It's like ufology is in complete free fall right now. The mainstream cult ufology is a lot of our compatriots in the underground are really taking over. It's kind of like music goes through those revolutions where the mainstream becomes popular for a while, then it gets burnt out, and then the underground guys like become huge.
The
So
Truther
let's
Squad is getting huge, man.
all right. So a couple key things that happened tonight. I got to go back and jump on Rich's stream. Rich of GUFO had he had who is it? Michael Horn on. Yeah, Michael Horn.
Billy
He's like a big Billy Meyer supporter. So Billy Meyer is one of the most famous cases in ufology. If you know about it, it was the I Want to Believe poster from Mulder's office in the X-Files. That picture is Billy Meyer is the one who took the photographs and made those pictures. He was this guy over in Switzerland who says he has contact with aliens. One of them who turned out to be Michelle de la Fave, who he said her name was Asket, and that she was a Pleiadian princess, but it turned out to be Michelle de la Fave from a 1970s TV show. But interesting, like weird things that everybody calls him out on all the debunking stuff. But he was on tonight. He's still on, actually. He's still going right now. Rich is still live right now, going off about with Michael Horn. Well, Michael Horn
went off for what, an hour and 45 minutes?
They've been going on for.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I've had enough, and he just kept going and going.
So go check this interview out and definitely timestamp the points where Michael Horn. I want someone to go on here and timestamp the spots where Michael Horn calls Jeremy Corbell a fraud, because
that's just 3 or 4 times.
It was absolutely hilarious, and I want to clip those up and show it. I wish I could go back and find it.
Why can't we? Let me go here once.
Yeah, man. See, we get someone in the live chat. If someone in the live chat can go back and find it right now while we're live, and
there's 2 major spots where he does it. The second time is absolutely hilarious. I mean, I was just in.
It was right around a half an hour in the first time, and then the second one was about like 10 or 15 minutes after that. So yeah, maybe that will help you find the
picture of Jeremy
Corbell roast. Okay, it's here. It is, the Corbell roast. I gotta load it up. This guy.
Oh, a guy found it.
He found it. Oh, here it is. So 117. Hey guys, how's everyone doing in the live chat, man? Yeah, Billy Meyer. He was a sex cult. He was recruiting all these women that came there to get in contact with UFOs and stuff. And he said that they were, like he was in contact with these Pleiadian aliens, and then he was saying that he was having sex with Pleiadian woman and all this stuff. Really interesting stuff.
Billy Myers, like we were trying to calculate his age. He's got to be about 85, I'm thinking. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I got to link people to the Truth Seekers show too, because we just were watching Steve Cambian too on Truth Seekers. So we're going to get into that and some of the new evidence that he's been getting into, and play this new clip. My buddy Curt Jaimungal of Theories of Everything with Curt, he recently interviewed Richard Dolan. It was like only 2 days ago, and it's got 70,000 views.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is incredible. Look at this, man. Everybody's watched this. This is huge. So anyways, Curt reached out to me because he was on my channel and got a brief introduction to our level of UFO expertise here on this channel, and he reached out to me for some good questions to ask Richard Dolan. And this interview is full of gold, man.
He caught Richard Dolan off guard is what he did, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah, he caught Richard Dolan off. He definitely caught Richard Dolan off guard with that question. So let's go into this case a little bit and talk about So Steve Cambian did a video recently. I think that's like the best one to show, where he this one 4 minutes long. Let's just watch this and play this, because this was great, man. This is on Truth Seekers, the channel called Truth Seekers. So just to give people a little introduction.
Particular interview we're about to do. This is a man who's in the U.S. military, who's had experiences, he says, relating to knowledge of ET, the ET presence here on Earth. We know he is who he says he was. This is a man who's in the U.S. military. We know he is who he says he was. This is a man who's in the U.S. military. We know he is who he says he was. Is who he says he was. We know he is who he says he was.
This next question comes from Stephen Cambian. He wants to know, how do you feel about your participation in the CIA deathbed confession interview? I'm unsure what that is, but many people keep referencing that in the comment section. Now that other researchers have proven, quote unquote, that man was not who he said he was and never worked for the military or CIA.
Oh, wow. I guess I should get up on top of that one. I'll just say this. Look, I met his son-in-law. I got to know his son-in-law pretty well. This man had been a witness back in the 90s for Linda Moulton Howe. Yeah, maybe he's just pulling a yarn. I mean, the way it happened. Look, I can't know before I go and interview someone every single way it's going to turn out. You can't make me like apologize for if I make a mistake. I've made mistakes. What am I supposed to do? Go cower into a cave? Like, it just happened. So this man, if that's true, I promise this, because I actually didn't know. I wasn't on top of this. So I'll look into it. And if that's the case, I'll make my own statement. But the thing is, I never really knew what to make of it. I was asked in 2013, very beginning of 2013, to interview this man. I was told he was an important witness. I'm like, well, okay. It was actually Linda's case, and I didn't want to take it. But the impression that I got, which turned out to be not true, was that Linda wasn't going to do it. Turns out Linda just didn't know that it was being done. I think she would have easily done it. So I went up there. He was in northern Minnesota, and I went with a few other people. I'll leave their names off. The late Ron Garner, who is no longer with us, he was the one who really pushed this case. And I was like, all right, well, I'll interview him. I did my best to get on top of it. I met with him. He was a very sweet man. I thought he was going to die in front of me, like during much of this interview. His health was terrible. But I will tell you this. I spoke to his son-in-law, who was a theology student at the time. These are good people. And the son said, yep, I've heard this man's story for years. He's never wavered. So all I did was I interviewed him, and I did my best. Sometimes the best isn't good enough. I didn't go through a detailed background check of him. No, I didn't. So if it's been proven to be a mistake, then well, these are the breaks. This is a man who's in the U.S. military. We know he is who he says he was. We know he is who he says he was. I didn't go through a detailed background check of him. No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, we got to unmute. Sorry, I got to unmute. So, anyways, that was the very interesting clip that was put together by Steve on his channel, covering this whole Richard Dolan fiasco, and it's gotten a ton of attention from a lot of people on UFO Twitter talking about this particular case, where there was this individual who claimed to be a CIA agent and
Anonymous.
Was his name.
Yes.
What's his real name, actually?
Okay, he went by Cooper Stein. Listen, he went by Cooper Stein,
but it's a weird spelling of Cooper, right? It's
Kewper. It's not his real name. His real name is something. I have it.
Isn't it Richard Manlove or something?
Oh God, what is it?
Richard Manlove or something.
I was talking to Steve about this earlier.
It was Dick Manlove, Dick P. Manlove, right? It was something weird like that.
It's really weird. I I have to get in my old computer that Ed and I used to chat on and go through that and find the information. Because if you remember, Ed and I did a massive.
Is this the guy? No. Looks like
No,
him a
that's
lot.
not him. That really looks like him, though. No, wait a minute. That Minnesota. I think. Hold on a minute. Come down.
It's right around the same time, you know.
Come. Keep coming down.
Minnesota.
Williams Dingman Stein Chapel. Go up there again.
Yeah.
I think that is him. Hold on a minute.
You said that his name was before that. I remembered that name because it was such a distinctive name.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, keep coming down. Go down where it says read more. That's it, I think.
Hubbard Township. Was he in the military? Yeah, United States Army, Korean, 18 months over former season, and so we went and confirmed that his military career did not line up with everything that he had talked about and stuff. Right? That's what I recall.
I think that is him. Now you got to remember, Ed and I found who this guy was.
I thought we already found this before.
2014, before he passed away. He passed away like 4 years later, which would be about right. I think that's him, man.
In any case, if people can't find him with those two names, they can do the research to find this individual.
Strange name,
but the point is that we've done another. Where can people find don't we have a video going over that CIA deathbed confession video? I know that
Cambian did one using the debunk Ed and I did.
Yeah,
I don't think you and I did a detailed one of it. Remember, Corbell changed the timestamp, so I had to go back and completely redo all the timestamps in it twice.
Yeah, I got to find a link to that video. I know Steven did one on that guy.
It's really good. I would just link to that. I think that's one of his first Truth Seekers videos. So hang on here. By the way, Jeremy, look in the private chat there. I sent you the link.
Yeah, I wish I had that. Sorry for not having that. Anyways, in any case, let's get into some more evidence and stuff. We're going to get into. Are we done with the Richard Dolan thing and that Cooper Stein guy? Because let's move on to the next case in UFOlogy. Because that was a big case when that came out. It got a lot of attention, and there's still lots of people
millions of views, and I got trashed all over the place for spending weeks debunking that thing. And it's not that I debunked it, it's just that Ed and I went over every statement the guy said, and it just didn't make any sense. I
remember when that first came out too. I was
remembered that. I think that is him. It just kind of doesn't look like him because he's bald there and his glasses are a little bit different.
It might have been him when he was younger.
That's him, dude. I'm pretty sure it's him.
Yes.
Remember you and me, Michael Schratt, were laughing so hard down at that hotel? Yes. We meet Michael Schratt. He's this little skinny guy that weighs about 100 pounds. It's like we come walking in this place. He doesn't believe we're there. I'm like, Michael, we're in the parking lot. Come outside. Me and Jeremy, alien scientists. And here comes Michael Schratt, comes outside and disbelieves we're there.
One thing before we move on from this, that's what I remember I wanted to talk about. So let's go. Right in the beginning of this, you can see Jeremy Corbell in the same room as Richard Dolan while this interview is being given. So I was curious to ask Richard Dolan. I had wanted Curt to ask Richard Dolan more questions about what Jeremy was doing there and his presence. I actually wrote an email to Richard Dolan. I invited him to come on the show. Maybe he'll agree to come on the show. I just wrote him tonight. I just wrote him before the show. I just wrote him another email because this whole thing's erupted in a new controversy now that it was on Curt Jaimungal.
There's Jeremy sitting there on the left side of the bed.
Yep.
There's the son-in-law that's supposedly a young theologian student in college. I mean, give me a break. That guy's not young at all. Moving Cooper around with the hat on.
Oh, that's the guy. And who's this?
Yeah, that's the son-in-law. I mean, they acted like the son-in-law.
Who's the guy holding the camera over here?
I don't know, but imagine, Jeremy, do you think this guy here in the wheelchair, Cooper Stein, would have a kid that would be in his 20s? No. A grandson, maybe. Dolan deflected the entire thing, it sounded like, onto Ron Garner. That's convenient. I knew Ron Garner. He died 2 years ago of bladder cancer. And I thought, wow, how
let's go play that. Let's go play that clip of the.
I just didn't think that was cool at all. What he did there.
The phenomenon is not about other researchers. I don't want to go in and start having wars with other people. It's a great way to waste your time. But unfortunately, it's true. You think UFOs are bad? Go to look into the 9/11 research community. Good grief, those people are terrifying. They are at war with each other every day.
Sounds like
so there's a lot of fringe communities out there where you have...
where the CIA creates these wars intentionally to mislead and misdirect people and have armies of agents out there to purposely, mislead people, spreading nothing but disinformation. That's true. It's crazy. It goes way deeper than that, Richard.
I don't know what to make of it.
This next question comes from Stephen Cambian.
This is good. All right.
He wants to know.
I'll make my own statement. But the thing is, I never really knew what to make of it. I was asked in 2013, very beginning of 2013, to interview this man. I was told he was an important witness. I'm like, well, okay. It was actually Linda's case, and I didn't want to take it. But the impression that I got, which turned out to be not true, was that Linda wasn't going to do it. Turns out Linda just didn't know that it was being done. I think she would have easily done it. So I went up there. He was in northern Minnesota. And I went with a few other people. I'll leave their names off. The late Ron Garner, who is no longer with us, he was the one who really pushed this case. And I was like, all right, well, I'll interview him. I did my best to get on top of it. I met with him. He was a very sweet man. I thought he was going to die in front of me, like during much of this interview. His health was terrible. But
interesting. I mean, he deflects it. Yes, it was a last minute thing from what I understand. I was involved in a conversation.
What was Corbell doing there?
It is weird. That was back when Corbell was living on John Lear's couch or floor. Same thing. He lived on the floor and the couch. What was he doing with Richard Dolan all the way back then? Very strange, buddy.
Yeah, I'm still curious about that, and I want to know because
if you go to 19 seconds, you'll see Corbell walk up and shake Cooper Stein's hand. Which video is that? How many minutes long is that one?
Yeah,
that's the 21-minute long one. It might be a little longer than that. He walks up, shakes his hand, just keep letting it go. Forward it a little bit. That's his long version video.
Yeah. This Truth Embargo, that's what it's called, the Truth Embargo. Yet they're putting disinformation out and saying that, there's an embargo on the truth when this got millions and millions of views. And the stuff that I put out is real, like well-researched, documented UFO fact and into like the whole history of the CIA's involvement in Area 51 activities, the technologies, and it gets shadow banned. I don't get these kind of views.
Remember the man's ridiculous story that he was in basic training and the head of the CIA came up to him and said, how'd you like to make extra money? And he took him to Area 51 to get rid of the people that were threatening the people that were there. It was only 1958. Wasn't anything really going on there at that time. A few trailers. The Navy had owned it up until 55. They used the runway. They used to store weapons there. And that was taken over by the CIA. The entire story is just ridiculous.
In any case,
there was an alien in the garage at Papoose.
I wonder if, because Dolan doesn't strike me as, I don't know, because I met Dolan in 2019 at Alien Con, and I approached him and I told him who I was and the kind of research I was involved with, and he seemed super interested, took down my information, and I got a hold of him, sent him a bunch of emails with a whole bunch of stuff. And that was right around the time that he started on the whole Wilson leaks thing. And he ignored me and all the information that I gave him, and he went off on this tangent on the Wilson leaks. For
a couple of years, he's been talking about the Wilson leaks, and
since 2019. It was right after that, and it doesn't reveal anything.
It has to do with Eric Davis and Admiral Wilson, and it's just a bunch of crap. in my opinion.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah, it didn't really, but he went off on this for
He made some money off of it,
and he made lots of money, but it's not the point. Is that I approached him right before that and gave him a whole bunch of real technologies. I said, those 38 papers that they're talking about aren't the real deal. I can go way into this. You should have, you got to come on my show, or vice versa, and let's talk, let's communicate. It just totally blanked. I really question whether or not someone knew that I was talking to him, or he asked someone about me close to him, and then they warned him about me and said, oh, don't, this guy's disinformation, and go with this instead. And I really want to talk to Richard and find out more about who's been, pulling his strings, because I don't think that he's necessarily an agent or a bad guy. I don't think he works for this whole thing. He's part of that do not call it the frauds club, it seems, but I don't think that that necessarily makes him like an agent or a nefarious actor himself. You know what I mean? That's why I invited him on the show, to give him a chance to talk about this, to explain, like, why did you ignore the information I gave you and go with the Wilson leaks instead? And who, I want to know, is Jeremy Corbell the one like talking me behind the scenes and like and pulling all these people's strings to, oh, don't talk to this guy, because we know that he talked. We know for a fact that we were trying to reach out to Lazar's best friend there for the Lazar case, which we'll get into next. Very briefly, we're not going to go we could waste hours and hours on Bob Lazar, but in any case, we were reaching out to Gene Huff, who's not mentioned at all in this new documentary. He was a big part of the original Bob Lazar story, one of the central players alongside John Lear. And John Lear wasn't even, featured. And you can't find anything. You look up all this new stuff, you can barely find anything on old John Lear or Gene Huff in relation to the case anymore. But we reached out to Gene Huff, and when we did, Gene was like, oh, that Jeremy,
super nice guy, I must say.
Yeah, and he's been really Huff, man. He's been really agreeable and real forthcoming with information and what he knows. He's been really helpful in our investigation. Jeremy Corbell has been a liar and a wall. He's put up a wall. He's blocked me. Won't allow questions to get through. He won't answer questions. He ignores key topics and key issues and keeps pushing like lies and bullshit. He's been an absolute jackass as far as I'm concerned. He's a real, like, pretends to be a real nice guy to your face when you first meet him, tends to be your best buddy and your best friend, but he's a snake. He's like I don't know, man. This guy he won't agree to come on the channel. We were trying to, we almost got, but the fact is, we were trying to reach out to Gene Huff to get information on the Bob Lazar case, and Jeremy Corbell preempted us and wrote a letter and said, "Don't talk to these guys. They're agents." Like all this. It
actually helped us talk to them.
It actually helped us.
Gene Huff does not like Corbell at all, and it's well known in people in the circles.
But it just shows you
John Lear does not like him.
I'm curious. What was Jeremy doing on Richard Dolan's bed that day, and why was he part of that? Because
what is going on, man? What is freaking going on?
And why is he
right?
Yep.
He's all on the news. He's the one that's disclosing all these so-called UFO.
He's been elected as the central figurehead for disclosure by I don't know who, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan's like my buddy Jeremy Corbell. Now, he used to not say that, but it's like it's really bizarre what's going on, man.
It's contrived. It has to be, because we've gone into this case now and interviewed ex-Area 51 security guards, like the people that were in charge of all the human resources management at the base, who during that time, Fred Dunham approved every single person who worked out there. He knew every single person's name and their, everything about them. Where's that interview? We got to find that one with the Fred Dunham one. This is on.
Do you want just the audio, or do you want Steve Cambian's?
Steve does a good job of putting it together. So
here I have the audio. I mean, thing is, with
if you can link
video
to
it gets interrupted a number of times over the praise the cash stuff.
Yeah.
So you're better off probably just.
Where's the original?
Hold on a minute here. I got it.
Oh, do we have any?
There it is.
Did we get any? We got a super chat here. He was in chat. Invite him on. Who's that? Oh,
there you go, Jeremy. I'm going to put it in the private chat. Here's the link to Fred.
Oh, Goofon's in the live chat. Hey, Rich.
Oh, what's up, Rich? Good show tonight, man.
Great show tonight, man. Hey, if you want to jump on,
yeah,
I'm gonna give him a link.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot him the link right now. Here you go. Check your Twitter, Rich, and I just sent you a link so you can.
I have definitely become a fan of Rich.
Dude, that was
I watch
hilarious.
Rich's show every night, man. I really have a good time watching it. I remember Rich Giordano about 10 years ago was the UFO police, and he came after that guy Phil Kosetsky, the guy that was filming airplanes up there in. Oh
my God. UFO watchdogs here, man.
Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? I'm a huge fan of that dude, man.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the clarity back in the day. Because when I was first getting into UFOs and stuff, man, I like fell for so much
That guy's my hero, brother.
There was so much stuff. It's such a wacky and weird field. There's so much in it, and it's so hard to wade through and find your way around, man. It's like that was like a beacon. It was like a light tower saying, you know, hey, there's some rocky shore here. You're gonna crash and hurt yourself and jam your ship up if you don't stay away from this stuff. So it was a little helpful when you're first getting into this dark, cavernous field of UFOs to have some sort of guidance. So, Rich.
Hey,
he's on, man.
What is up, man? What, me?
Dude.
You want me here?
Hey, great job on getting Michael Horn on tonight and getting him all amped up to say what he said. I gotta go clip those clips up of him talking about Corbell.
He really blew my mind. Part was when he trashed Corbell. Not the first time, the second time. It was like, this is just let Michael Horn just run with it, man. You didn't even have to do anything. It was great.
I had to applaud him. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, and UFO watchdogs here. I'm a big fan, huge fan.
We got a nice group of people, man. I mean, we're all skeptics. We're believers, right? But we're all skeptical, and we need to be that way because if we just keep letting all this garbage come out, it just keeps multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, man. We've got a really good group of people, I think, finally, and it's taken a long time to get this amount of people thinking for real.
We have. Yeah. I think it's coming around. I see a nice group, a core that I could trust and rely on if for anything really in the field now. I never had this like this before. So it's real interesting to see it grow.
Mm-hmm. I've told Jeremy, I said, man, I remember Rich from 10 years ago. Do you remember when you came after that guy called himself Orion IFO? He was filming airplanes up in New York. He was crazy. Phil something. It was about 10 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
He was filming airplanes coming out of the airport. And you called yourself the UFO police. I will never forget that. I was laughing so hard. The guy almost had a heart attack over it. It's like, dude, quit filming airplanes. And maybe you won't have people going after you,
He stopped, though, after that. He disappeared.
He stopped, but he started up again. He moved.
Oh, no.
He just started up about a year ago again. He goes, I'm seeing ships again.
No way.
Yeah, I think he's schizophrenic or something.
He has to be, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Definitely. Oh, there he is.
Look at this. The gang's all here. I didn't know you were all going to be here.
Praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Hallelujah, friends.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. So, what do you guys think about the Travis Walton case? I kind of want to jump into that next because this has been a big shocker to have the biggest case, one of the biggest abduction cases in history. Like,
how many years have I been telling you it's bullshit, dude? 10 years, maybe longer.
And Steve, you got some real funky background noise. I think. As soon as I mute your mic, it's like dead silent. So it's like,
that praising the cash.
It's man. We got I think I just absorbed all the.
I've explained on my show. I got this sort of attic office, and it's so hot in here that I blast the air conditioner in between streams. I just got done on my show, and it was off for like an hour and a half. So I blasted it. I want to blast it in here for 10 minutes, so I won't die in here. It's fine if I don't have that on. I apologize.
Jeremy, you've asked a question with a super chat there.
Yes, we have a super chat question. Thank you to NeuroStream for the $5 super chat, man. Praise the cash. I read all super chats here, and we'll answer all your questions, no matter how crazy they are. This one's not that bad. So what did you think of Mirage Men? Mirage Men was an excellent film. I actually had Walter Bosley on my channel not too long ago. We want to get him back on at some point too to talk to, again, I'd like to get Walter's take on this. Walter, if you're watching, man,
He is. I guarantee you he is. He'll show up. I've talked to him for about a month.
Yeah, he's like a mystical creature, and when you say his name 3 times, he shows up in your live chat. It happens. It happens to me. I start talking about Walter Bosley. Next thing I know, he's in the live chat correcting me, and
man,
But I love him. Though. I love him.
Unless he's
Jeremiah.
live, which I don't think.
Be great to talk to you, man. Listen, don't be afraid to reach out too, man. We should talk soon. I wanna get a hold of you, man. We got to catch up. So definitely. Who else is here, man?
You got a lot of people. You got.
Oh my God, it's going
Rich's
nuts.
show and Steve's.
Yes, we'll get Horn on with Steven and me.
Scott Brown's out
Oh
there.
my God! Really?
Where's Michael? Go send Michael the link, man.
You want me to call
Rich, did you do the show with Michael? How'd that go?
Yeah, it was
He
great.
did. He was doing it while you were doing yours, man. I was trying to watch both of them at the same time.
I know.
Me and him were watching both shows and we're on the phone. We had to jump back when he started trashing Corbell again. I'm like, dude, he's doing it again. We're trying to find the timestamp, and I'm like, we don't have to. He just did it better. He just really went.
You want me to send him a link?
Oh, Michael.
Oh, Michael
No,
Warren.
like Cambian.
I don't know. Well, let's see if someone can send me.
I don't know if
if
he's gonna
someone
come on.
sends me-
Don't tell him I'm on, and then he might.
No, yeah, let's not.
Listen. If I get
And to be
$100,
clear, I don't have
super chat.
anything against the guy, but he has something against me. Listen, I have a book on Amazon right now, and there's all these terrible reviews of it talking about what a great person Wendell Stevens was and how kind and generous he was. And my book is about him being a 3-time convicted child molester.
Yeah.
So these reviewers are Billy Meyer cult members that are leaving bad reviews on the book. But here's the funny thing. They have to buy the book in order to leave the bad review. So, yeah.
Bosley.
You want to hear something
Classified,
crazy?
Erica Lutz.
Erica Lutz.
She's the one who did the interview with Ryan Gordon on
Yeah, Erica
Travis
Lutz,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, so let me pull up Erica
come
Lutz.
in.
Scott Brown and
channel.
Erica Lutz. She's on
I sent her the
Facebook.
link. I sent her
Send
the link.
She might come. Yeah, and we could get over
said
this sausage party. She's kind of easy on the eyes, too.
Hey, Steve,
Come on.
A little bit.
You want to know how small a world it is? Bob
So-
Dean and Wendell Stevens lived next door to each other for
Yeah.
30 years. Did you know
Yeah.
that? So think
Yeah.
how much
Quickly.
bullshit they came up with together.
No, I sent her the link. So Erica, feel free to join. I think I sent you the link on.
That's cool.
So feel free to come in and chime in.
And Scott
But-
Brown is in the live chat. He really helped blow open
Yeah.
this Travis Walton case as well.
Yes.
Yeah, Scott
Yes,
Brown.
man.
The
Well,
gang's
this
all
is
here.
great.
Scott Brown, welcome,
Raise the
Scott Brown.
cash.
Can I get anyone have contact info for Scott Brown?
I could send a link to his Twitter. You want
Yeah,
me to do that?
send him a
go
link
ahead.
on Twitter if he wants to come on, man. This would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get a whole panel here going. Great.
definitely, guys. You got to go check out UFO Classified with Erica Luke. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe
For
to
sure.
GUFON. Check out GUFON. This is Rich Giordano's channel, and
Hey.
and then also check out Steve Cambian on Truth Seekers. So definitely subscribe to all
for sure.
3 of these channels. Super underrated work being done here, man, and I'm glad to have you guys on my channel to help promote and help share this information with a bigger
Hell yeah.
audience, man. This is key stuff. So apparently in the Travis Walton case, I got some super chats here too. I got to read. Let me get back to those.
Praise the cash.
Praise the cash. $5. I'll send you the screenshot of Corbell coming into this chat being salty afterwards. How did you miss it? Corbell came in. There's a troll like Corbell account that I'm not sure if it's him or not, but that goes around and says it says Jeremy Corbell, but we're not actually sure if it's really
He
him or
came
not.
into
so.
the Secure Team 10 interview. Was that the fake Corbell?
Hasn't he been on your show too, Rich? Because you were telling
Security
people Corbell had agreed to come on your channel, but it was just this troll in the chat.
Well, I don't know if it
No,
was.
I think that was really his channel.
It was
I was in
really-
that chat, and I went, is that really Corbell? And I clicked on his avatar, and it went right to Corbell's Extraordinary Beliefs YouTube channel, so I think it was him.
It was him.
Yeah, Tyler.
And
was-
Rich called him on air. Rich called his cell phone on air Like, come on,
yeah.
bro, come on my show.
I called him live on the show. It was a dare.
And he got
I
pissed
didn't know.
off. Yeah, he didn't know it was his real number. It is. I got
so
it
I
too.
called it and he picked up. I go, "Is this Jeremy?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "This is Rich Giordano from GUFO. You're on live right now." He goes, "Wait, what? Who?" You know.
Someone sent me his cell phone number. You want to call him right now, live?
Yeah, I don't care. It's 11 o'clock.
We can ask for the DD-214. We can ask for the DD-214 for the Cooper guy that he claims that he vetted.
Let's do it.
Scott's
here. Oh, this is great. Hey, I got one more super chat to read, and then we're gonna get in. We're gonna get.
Well, I'm moving up here. That's good.
I'm tracking. Okay, 5 pounds from the UK. Thank you, mate. I'm tracking a group of women in white throughout history who pilot UFOs, influence religion, and turn into bovines. Heard of any encounters like that?
Sure.
No.
How rude.
Sounds like something for
Rude.
the TV show. What is that called? Skinwalker Ranch.
Turn into
Sounds like
bovines.
something that would be on there.
I knew lots of women who've turned into bovines.
Yeah. Well, here's a great joke. What's the difference, Jeremy, between a girlfriend and a wife?
Oh God.
Usually about 100 pounds.
Oh, hell! To recover from that one.
No,
It's just not right, man. All right. So, more cowbell, please. Yes.
More cow.
That was
praise
a good.
the cash.
That was a good one. Hey, like I said, we read all super chats. Praise the cash, no matter how crazy. So, yes.
Yeah, Jeremy, isn't it crazy when you watch some of these bigger channels, they don't even acknowledge the super chats, let alone read them? And you think, like, how
man.
selfish? How selfish?
I mean, if
These
it
guys
ever
get
got to the
thousands
point-
of dollars in one stream, and they don't even say thank you, like a
Right.
general thanks for the super chats.
They were all.
Oh my God, dude! UFO Watchdog even threw $10 out,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, he
Well,
Yeah, I love his website.
definitely, yeah. Check out his website, man. Would love to get you on the stream or on YouTube too sometime, man. Let me know. Well,
Yeah, that would be awesome. He's
Erica
like the
Lutz
big
might
guy.
chime in,
Whatever he
right?
is.
She might come in.
I hope so, man. I sent her the link. I hope.
I
she-
haven't
Let's hope
seen
so.
her.
She's a lot better looking than Rich from GUFO. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he's hard to look at. Hey, you know what was hard to look at? That Linda Moulton Howdy Doody mask, man.
Oh, Carl,
Oh,
that
I
was
got it.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Carl's here too, man. Welcome to the group chat, Carl.
Hey,
If Jeremy wants, I'll share the screen test of her.
is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
yeah,
saw a
was it?
still from the video.
No, I watched the video. You sent me the video.
So let's get into this Travis Walton case real quick.
Yeah.
I want to go over just the main points of evidence that were brought up. Is apparently him and this guy Mike Rogers, who I friended on Facebook for a little while, and because he had posted this thing on Facebook about saying that the story was a hoax. So I added him on Facebook, and then he said that he posted another post a couple weeks later saying that, oh, me and Travis are talking now, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, it wasn't a hoax now, and he's like, everything's cool, and so it's something about money going on behind the scenes here. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I've heard that he got cut. He got cut from the new documentary money, and then suddenly he started telling the truth, and then he got put back into the money, and he recanted everything. That's
wrote
basic.
all
That's a
about it
basic
on-
rumor.
Yeah, he's just trying to hold his head over a barrel.
Yep.
Yeah, because he backpedaled on all that stuff. He posted a bunch of really controversial stuff, and I added him as a friend. And I was like, I think I have screenshots of it somewhere. I wish I had them here to show. But
Victor has them all.
yeah, again, praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
It was like a bipolar rant, bro. He did the Mike Rogers. It was really.
They got a bunch of money. They got a bunch of money for doing the show, but there was apparently right where there was this fire tower right near where the sighting took place that none of these guys knew about at the time, but apparently Travis and Mike knew about it, and some other guy.
Yeah.
And this fire tower had a diesel generator. It would have created the humming noise that they said they heard started, and it had these colored spotlights that were mounted to the fire tower. and also like a crane and a hook and stuff. So that's what these people saw. Some of the witnesses allegedly reported when they were describing the scene. But apparently, he drove these guys, a couple of his lumberjack friends, out to this one spot. And when they got there, he got out of the car, and then they showed this big spotlight on him, and it freaked them all out. They drove away, and when they came back, Travis was gone. So there's this whole theory that they faked this UFO encounter, man, which is like one of the most famous UFO encounters of all time. And one of his buddies apparently had access to the fire tower too, and that Travis said that Travis had been up in there.
Looks like a place to drink beer, doesn't it?
Totally.
I would love to catch a case of beer up there, man.
Yeah,
I would totally.
I know where one of those is near my cabin, and it's like all but abandoned. And I went up this ladder and went in it, and just was like, there was like a sliding glass door, and there was like almost nothing in there. It's like an abandoned version of that kind of a fire tower. But
what did they do? Were they all drunk when they encountered this? Because this is what someone's saying. Drunk. How did they confuse a fire tower for a goddamn UFO?
Scott, you may know that.
I can share what I shared on my show earlier tonight, which is
please.
There's a website here. Hold on.
Yeah, it's real simple.
Hold on. Yeah, here I'll share the website that
Scott knows it very well. I've seen Scott talk about it a couple of times.
It was just far enough away, right? You couldn't see the legs of it.
Right.
Yeah, I just shared it.
It was all.
But you have to approve the share or something like that.
Someone took. Is that an actual picture? Someone took?
No. So this is a picture that I simulated.
Scott simulated. Yeah, Scott did a great job though, because what does
cool.
that look like? You can't see the legs of this tower from certain angles. All you see is the lit up top of the tower, and it's known to have these spotlights, different color lenses in it.
Huh.
Dude,
and it was a short distance from the actual abduction site.
Site.
Well, it was 4.9 miles away.
Was it 4.9 miles away from their work location or where the truck stopped? I thought it was only 1,500.
Their work location was almost near the spot where they claim where the abduction took place.
Because Ryan Gordon shows that map, and it looks a lot closer than 4.9 miles. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, give or take, but you can't see the tower from the other spot.
And this is great too.
But how could a beam go that far?
Look at the description. Look at the description of the craft here.
The thing is beautiful.
Confused. So they faked it at the tower, but then when they went back to look for Travis,
they turned off all the lights.
Mike took them to another spot, which is what they claim where the abduction took place.
Right.
2 different spots.
But I see what Rich is saying. You mean to tell me that the original abduction with the beam shot to Travis, that beam hit Travis from 4.9 miles away?
No, they were right below the tower.
Well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. So there's two sites. There's the site. I'm sorry, Scott. There's the site that that they really were when they were closer to the tower when the beam hit them, and then they jump in the truck and run away. Oh my God, Travis got abducted by aliens, and then Mike Rogers takes them back, but he takes them to a different spot that was 4.9 miles away to go look for Travis.
Exactly.
And look at the description. This thing is beautiful. It's hovering there. A framework of metal covered in reflective glass. It was lighted from inside, kind of a glow coming out of it. You could see the window frames and a frame in the middle of it. And that's from the original witnesses. And then what's great is this. Look at this. The
picture.
Here is what he said. We were talking in the woods one day. We were talking about creating a UFO hoax, okay? This is Mike Rogers. I don't know how the UFO got there, but I remember when I was driving the truck and he jumped out, it was all deliberate. It was all a staged thing, okay? He ran up there, and there was something about the UFO not being real, although it looked real. And then Ryan replies, so what you're saying is you and Travis together hoaxed this? And Mike Rogers says, yeah.
And some people don't know that moments before Mike made that phone call, he sent a text, which we have copies of, and he said, I have a secret I want to whisper in your ear.
You got to start shit for.
And one of the things that I was trying to hammer on my show tonight is that the only people that aren't sharing this evidence. The only people that are arguing with all this incredible evidence coming out recently are people who are making money selling the story. And so far, Richard Dolan is making money selling the story, claiming it's still real. And he left out all of this. And he uploaded his video on July 28th after all this information came out. Convenient that he left it all out. And then, of course, Jimmy Church, we've got him on his show saying, I didn't listen to any of the evidence. I'm not going to. Like, he didn't even listen to the evidence before he had Travis on his show to explain it all away.
That's typical.
Yeah, he blocked in the chat room, too.
Yeah, he blocked somebody. He told people ahead of time. He said if anyone by the name of Charlie Weiser shows up, kick them out immediately.
Jimmy Church is
and this is her website, by the way, that we're sharing right now. She's done amazing work. She was going to be a guest on my show, but people are giving her a lot of trouble and harassing her. And she just backed out at the last, she said yes. And then she said, on second thought, I just want to back out of this stuff. But basically I said, that's fine. Your work speaks for itself. She's detailed everything on this website. Look at this. It's so detailed about the hoax, proof that it was a hoax, right?
The description of the glass really is exact on that tower. I mean, how many UFOs do you know have glass windows? Not many.
Yeah, and it's important to know that from certain angles, you can't see the tower holding this platform up. All you see is the lighted tower, especially at night. The trees obscure the frame.
Glow coming out of there, right? Against the glass, it would be glaring. You'd be startled because Mike is going to say, oh my God, look, there's an alien spaceship. You're going to be scared shitless. You're out in the middle of the woods. You ever been spooked in the woods? It's bizarre.
Yeah. So where on Google Earth can I find the location where this took place? Do you have it?
That I don't know, but I know that there's
it's on there.
Scott Brown and Erica had Brian on who showed even drone flyovers. If you go to Luke's channel.
I have all the links for all the
Yeah, that drone flyover was incredible. That's what really showed the perspective for me to see, like, oh my God, they pulled up.
Well,
right
that's how this all
bend
got
in the road.
started, right? Ryan Gordon, I think, was just supposed to fly a drone over, and I think that's how this all got started, isn't it?
He was working on a documentary, but
so
I've heard from various people that the point of the documentary, this is rumors, but people need to hear this. It's important rumors, and a lot of people are saying this, that the point of the documentary was supposed to be that Travis Walton is sick of selling UFO crap, and he was going to tell the truth, and they were going to spill the beans, and that was going to sell the documentary. Oh, I hoaxed it all, and here's how we hoaxed it. So he starts talking to Ryan, and Mike Rogers gets pissed off because of the money situation and starts spilling the beans.
Oh, my God.
Here we go.
That makes sense on why this
totally does.
True.
So the truck stopped there 100 feet from this tower.
So now you have to listen to the video very closely to what Ryan's saying. He was brought here to the tower and walked through how they did it. But he's not saying who did that, and he can't really say who did that. But trust me, it's somebody really important. And they brought him here, they walked him through the whole thing, and that's how he got all this information.
Was he supposed to go out with this information?
This information was going to be used for the documentary, and let's just say it's been recorded, but he can't release it to the public for legal reasons.
Oh, I bet. There's so much money involved in this case now.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's important to note too that Ryan, I talked to him for a while. He's not a UFO guy.
No,
he's a filmmaker. He's a document. Right. He's a cinematographer and a filmmaker, really. So he doesn't have a confirmation bias like a lot of UFO people might that want to believe it. I found him incredibly, just my opinion, but I found him incredibly believable when I spoke to him on the phone and heard more of this story. To me, it's open and shut. Slam dunk. I mean, you got the guy that's been the witness to this for 35 years suddenly saying we hoaxed it.
And the Men in Black didn't shut him up years ago, man.
Yeah.
So Walton and Mike Rogers were going to admit this was all a hoax, show how it was done, That's why the phone call is so loosely done from Mike Rogers to Ryan. It makes sense now because I couldn't make any sense of that phone call. Why is he doing this? They were going to admit they hoaxed it. That was the premise of this video. That's what you're saying.
That's what I've heard from various different
Scott, is
people.
that right?
Yes.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. That now everything makes a little more sense. It's really starting to add up now.
So,
yeah, and if you think about it, Travis is getting close to retirement. He's getting close to retirement age, and there was supposed to be a huge payout for this. So I think that Travis was looking for that last payout and just walk off into the sunset with his last chunk of money from this by admitting it was fake. That's my opinion and speculation based on many different things. People can believe what they will, but why is one of the major witnesses allowing himself to be taped saying it was all faked, it was all a hoax, and here's part of how we did it? It doesn't make any sense unless that's true, that they were going to spill the beans. You know.
One last thing I want to address is that someone talks about the rings and the tree growth and this radiation presence of radioactive materials in the tree ring growth around that area or something.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can go out there and cut a tree down and get a sample of this so I can?
Stump's still there.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So if you're looking at the tree that Mike took slices from.
Oh, you took slices.
Mike did. So
yeah.
Then the second picture that's on the right, that the object supposedly hovered right over those trees. This tree with the slices is facing away from that area. So no scientific analysis was ever done on these trees. These are.
I've heard they wouldn't let scientists have the material to test. That's what I've heard.
But one of the worst parts is that I brought up on Mike's page, and he deleted the comment, was a world-renowned tree ring lab is right in Arizona. It was established in 1937, and they never consulted this lab.
Yeah, so we've got the experts that could prove our claims, but we're not gonna engage them and share that evidence. Or they did, and they didn't like the results, so they.
And you can go on tree ring sites, and it will tell you the size of the tree rings can change with precipitation, the thinning of the forest. All of that stuff will make those rings change size. It has nothing to do with a UFO or radiation.
Yeah, I think that evidence is bunk. It's not evidence. It's not science. It's made up, maybe tantalizing evidence, right? Well, if you took samples but you never tested them, then who cares? You got to have an expert and you got to test them. Oh yeah, the lie detector is right after this section. The lie detector.
Necessarily be lying. He may actually
not only did he fail the first one, but they paid the National Enquirer paid off the polygrapher.
The National Enquirer has long had an interest in UFOs and in selling.
Yes, that's good.
They asked Walton to take a lie detector test and called in the services of Jack McCarthy.
I received a call at my home asking me to come to the Sheraton Hotel in Scottsdale and not to tell anybody where I was going, period. Well, naturally, I told my wife and picked up my portable equipment and left for the hotel.
A lie detector is used to reveal whether a person is telling the truth by measuring pulse rate, respiration, and blood pressure. Some experts, however, doubt its reliability. But after 2 hours of questioning and recording the reactions, McCarthy thought he had the answer.
When I completed my examinations, after reading my charts, I rendered the opinion to the reporters from the National Enquirer that the charts were deceptive, and that, in my opinion, he was attempting to perpetrate a UFO hoax. Well, the lid blew off the room. Dwayne was going to throw me off the balcony. He was raging like a bull, saying there's no way that his brother would lie. And his charts were very, very clear, obviously deceptive. And prior to the examination, the reporters from the National Enquirer, I forgot to mention this, asked me if I would have any objection ahead of time to having pictures taken of my charts and the equipment and myself following the examination. I said, no problem. Well, after I rendered my opinion, the pictures were completely forgotten. They had no more interest in pictures. But what they did do, they went into an adjoining room and drew up a little form for me to sign, asked me to sign it, to the effect that I wouldn't reveal where I had been that day. They would say nothing about this examination, and so forth and so on.
Travis Walton argues that he failed the test because he was excessively nervous as a result of his recent close encounter with aliens.
It's echoing.
Despite his claim of being overly nervous.
So there you have it. The first lie detector test that was administered to Travis Walton by the National Enquirer, this guy determined that he was perpetrating a UFO hoax and that he was lying, according to the expert.
They covered it up.
And the National Enquirer covered it up. So this is a good question that goes along with what DJ KG Customs asked. How did the Travis Walton case even take hold? Bullshit from day one, right? Well, it took hold because these people saw more profit in promoting a fake story than in exposing it, because there is more profit. There's definitely more profit always in promoting a fake story than there is in exposing it. The same reason that George Knapp hasn't put all the pieces together on the Bob Lazar story, even though he could.
The National Enquirer had $100,000 reward out for the proof of alien beings or UFOs. That's why these guys did this hoax. Travis Walton had claimed he was abducted 5 years prior to this incident also. I don't know if you know that or not. But these guys won $100,000. You ever seen the pictures of them holding the checks up?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
$2,500 each. They won $100,000.
I thought it was $5,000.
Yeah, I thought it was 25,000.
It was supposed to be 100,000. They only paid them $5,000. Travis got 2,500. The other 2,500 got split between the other 6 guys.
Wow.
Wait, I think they're all holding checks for 2,500 though in this picture, aren't they?
Yeah, it was only 5,000 in all though. So I'm not.
Back then,
The
that's
6
$5,000
others.
back then's like about what, 40 now, maybe?
The 6 others shared the 2,500. Wow, that's terrible.
That is terrible.
400 each.
You know why? They had to pay the fucking lie detector guy off.
I guess so. Yeah.
And who all else did they pay off?
Yeah.
It's like the Bob Lazar case. The first lie detector Bob Lazar took was from a guy named Ron Slay. He failed it miserably. Ron Slay, after he was done with him, Knapp found another guy, Terry Tabernetti, to conduct the second lie detector test. And 49 seconds into the lie detector test video, which we all have a copy of, I know you do, Steve, he says that Bob was failing the test miserably. He was failing the second test too. So Knapp's career was on the line, and these cases are similar. There's certain things that are similar with these cases.
Yeah, and also it's important, this lie detector test. We covered it on our show tonight. Nobody ever said anything about that lie detector, that polygrapher's ethics, or made complaints. Richard Dolan, in his telling of the story, blames the polygrapher, says he was completely unethical, he was interrogating, he was intimidating, and all this other stuff. You can't blame. Yeah, I do. It's on. I can find it. It's on.
Believe it. He said he tried to aggravate him into failing it.
Yeah. So the person, one of the people making money selling the story, is talking about the lie detector and why he failed it, blaming the polygrapher. Friends, if you fail a lie detector test, you can't blame the polygrapher. Those guys are like cops. They're going to be professional. They're matter of fact. They're going to write everything down. That guy was not unethical. He answered the questions, and the report is out there. He asked the questions, and Travis failed miserably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think Michael Horn could aggravate you that much?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and then also Richard Dolan left out that he failed a second lie detector test on national television.
Oh, yeah, with the $100,000. And then
So
again, trying to win prize money.
And it's again interesting, Stephen, that you point out that all these mainstream players in this cult of the UFO mafia, they won't touch this evidence, and they just breeze over this, and they'll even stand by these people and continue to promote them when asked about it.
Because they're making money selling the story, and they don't want to hear. Jimmy Church stood up on a show and he said, "I haven't listened to any of these podcasts or read any of this evidence. I'm not going to." Great. So you don't care about the truth. You just care about your buddy. They're buddies. They work these UFO conferences together. They make money together. Jimmy Church has introduced Travis Walton at 100 different UFO conferences. They're buddies. They eat together. They hang out together.
Yeah.
Same with Jimmy. Same with Richard Dolan.
And
they're all making money selling the story. They're not gonna entertain the evidence he's a fraud. It puts them in a bad situation.
Didn't Aldrich James pass a lie detector test too?
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy,
There's ways to do
I
it.
sent you an image on your Twitter feed.
I'm just going to play this to as Travis Walton while I go look at that.
Giant redwood. Large. Sir. The mighty Scotch pine. With their like levy parrot. The smell of fresh cut timber. Mighty trees. With my best girl by my side. We'd sing.
Is that a Nordic?
Sing.
Can you post that in the private chat?
I'm a lumberjack and I'm
Is that Brilliant Warsick?
all night and the work all day.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. On Wednesday, I go shopping and have potted scones for tea.
He cuts down trees, he eats his lunch, he goes to the lavatory.
All right, we all know the song, but and if you don't, you guys should go check it out. And if you don't know what we're talking about there, but yeah, the lumberjack song in honor of Travis Walton, the lumberjack guy.
That's so meta.
Yeah,
Look at how he became a legend, man. I would go. You just think like, yes,
I sent the image to your private messages, Jeremy.
I never have to work again. That's it. No more cutting. My tree cutting days are over. All right. Let me see it in the private chat. It's in the private chat or on.
No, it's on Twitter. Your private messages.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I have Richard Dolan arguing that Travis Walton failed the lie detector test because it's the polygrapher's fault. I'll share it, and you could share it if you choose to. Yeah.
Yeah, share that, Jeremy. It's ridiculous.
Why don't I not seeing this, man?
Oh, hold on. I'm getting it right now.
I don't have it in my Twitter inbox, man. It's not in my messages. Facebook? No.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it's there now.
This is Richard Dolan blaming the polygrapher for why Travis Walton failed the lie detector test.
Oh, great.
Great strategy, right?
That's all we need.
And Richard Dolan doesn't mention that he failed a second one on national television, and he also leaves out all this latest evidence. And this video was uploaded on July 28th. And granted, maybe he scheduled it in advance or whatever, but when all of this breaking information is coming out that Travis Walton faked it, and even his one-time partner is saying they faked it, he should have included some of that evidence. And right there, you know, it's a lie by omission. Like, well, I'll just forget to mention that the guy's partner said they faked the whole thing recently. You know, it's very disingenuous at worst. At best, it's dishonest for sure at worst. How are you going to tell the story and leave out all the evidence that it's a fraud?
Yeah, you do good at making compilations showing all this stuff, Steve. And the more you do that, I'm gonna keep promoting those on my channel and showing those.
Thank you. Yeah, come and see Truth Seekers. I appreciate the bump. I get every once in a while. I get the Rich from GUFO bump, right? I get the Alien Scientist bump. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. We're slowly growing. We're getting some momentum here, and I feel good about it.
Here now, Jeremy.
No, this is good to have everyone on in one panel too, man. We got to do more of these like fun cross panels and crossovers. I want to get more of these mainstream players involved in all this, but I don't know what's going on with them. Let me bring this.
They're going to ignore you. They're not coming on. They're not going to answer any of these questions. No. And silence speaks volumes, Jeremy. Silence speaks volumes.
Yes, it does. So this is great. We got this someone I don't know if it's the Unidentified Celebrity Review that put this together, but someone made this graphic of all the popular people in UFOlogy, man, and this is just hilarious. I don't know. Have any of you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not on it. Imagine that. I'm not even on it.
You're not even there, man. You're not popular enough, Steve, man. Another couple thousand subs, you'll be there, man. I like how I'm at least in an elevated position up here with the skeptics, and was that Michael Schratt or is that? I mean, not Michael Shermer. I don't know. There's Alien Girl. What's up, Amy? And there's Tom DeLong. There's Jeremy Corbell. This is funny. Elon Musk there with holding a Tic Tac. How come Elon doesn't know about the Tic Tac or hasn't said anything about Tic Tacs and stuff, man? Oh, they got Nick Pope next to Eric Davis. That's kind of I don't know. Some of this I don't understand the placement of, but then again, it's just like they're just gluing faces on where they can, and
Yeah, and you know what, Jeremy? I'm trying not to be bitter, but there's a lot of people like that channel and others that are playing nice with the UFO celebrities. And of course, a lot of them start their channel about the same time as me, but got twice the subscribers because they play nice. They don't ask these hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they have no value. I'm sorry, but I don't think you have any value if you're just going to play nice. These are important questions. If people are scamming people,
people
you
get
gotta
scared
ask them.
to ask questions. It is you get scared because in order to get access to these certain people who are this big, membership, you can't ask those questions, and you got to play nice. And
that's the game.
That's the game. It is. It's a gambit, and
it's a big club, and I ain't in it. Jeremy,
what do you think? How much percentage of the mainstream of UFOs do you think are like shills, like straight up, like some kind of paid, or at least somehow influenced? It doesn't mean that they're.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this, right, because it's easy to like fund these people that are frauds, and also flood their channels with fake subscribers, because you can go on and buy this stuff too, right? So if I can go on and buy this, who's saying that the CIA can't buy this stuff for channels that they know are going to be like these right. They're going to give money to people like this, and then gain influence over their content because they're big donors to the channel. So they're going to tell them, hey, listen, don't listen to that guy, alien scientist, and don't he's not a real scientist, and they'll say all this stuff about me, and not to have him on. I wonder how much of that goes on and who those players are that are behind the scenes doing this. Because there's a reason that I met Dolan, and I told him that I had this information, and then he goes and turns around and ignores all that and in favor of the Wilson leaks, which was a total nothing burger.
What information are you talking about, though, Jeremy?
So that he said about these 38 papers from the DARPA ATIP study, and I told him, I have decades of research on all this kind of stuff, metamaterials, space propulsion, invisibility cloaking, and shields, way beyond Dr. Ulf Lenhart. Although he's an interesting guy and has done some interesting research, but there's way more people. Duke University, Dr. Stephen Kummer, and a couple of these other guys that you wouldn't know about who do. There's way more people involved in this research than is on here. And I know I try to make it my business to know all of them and figure out everything I can about this stuff. So I definitely know more about this stuff than is being declassified and let out to the public just now. And I'm trying to share that information and dig more into this and explain how it all fits together and the physics of it. And I don't know if that's just too far above certain people's heads that they just like get intimidated and they're like, this guy, or what. But I at least know I've studied this stuff. This is my business. And when I approach someone like Richard Dolan and he seems super interested, gets my information, and then
ghosts you.
Ghosts me. I have to just wonder, and ghost me in favor of the Wilson leaks. So I'm just thinking, like, how did this happen? Someone in Dolan's circle, which is why I wrote him that letter earlier. I hope he's watching tonight. Someone in Dolan's circle told him, listen, go to the Wilson leaks and don't cover the alien scientist stuff and get deep on the science level on this. Someone told him that.
He's Corbell's buddy, man. He's going to know right away not to talk to you. He sends out emails about you and I.
Well,
You know,
I'm just saying someone, but I didn't. I want to hear it from Dolan.
Well,
You
I know that they're
kinda
big. I know that they're big buddies, and he's not a fan of yours, mine, or Solar Marshall here. So and also it's interesting when this guy Curt from Theories of Everything asked him the question about the fake CIA deathbed confession guy. He said, "Well, I went down there with. Oh, I won't mention them. He wouldn't even mention that he did that hoax scam." Fake story with Jeremy Corbell. He didn't even want to mention his name.
Oh wow!
And everybody knows it that they did that together.
So he's got this the lies on the Wilson memo. Look, he goes off on that for it was like that was the biggest segment of the entire interview on Curt's show interview with him was the segment on the Wilson memo.
That Wilson leak.
Yeah, it took him a half hour to explain why they weren't fake. Sorry, they're fake.
Sorry,
if it takes you a half hour to explain that they're not fake, they're fake.
Real quick, what were the reason they were fake?
Because Admiral Wilson himself, first of all, the whole story starts with Stephen Greer met Admiral Wilson and told him to start looking into UFOs and where they keep the bodies and the material. And Stephen Greer has been caught time and time again claiming to meet high-ranking military people, brief presidents. We caught him claiming that he briefed Mike Pence and President Trump, and we proved that wasn't true. He claimed to brief the sitting CIA director. So I'm sorry if I don't believe that Stephen Greer ever met this admiral and sent him off on a UFO mission. That's where the story starts. But Admiral Wilson claimed that the whole thing is a complete and total fabrication, even going as far to comment, I couldn't have been in the state of Las Vegas at the time these meetings were supposed to be taking place, and I can prove it. And Dolan is still doubling down, going, no, he's lying, and here's some tantalizing evidence he may be lying about this, and this may be true. And also, Eric Davis in the 1980s was called a crackpot researcher by the U.S. Air Force. He's not a credible person. And here's another thing. If he's going to trust Eric Davis with the Wilson documents, then why doesn't he trust Eric Davis saying that Bob Lazar is a complete and total fraud? He can't have it both ways.
Well, just because Admiral Wilson said he wasn't there doesn't mean much. The guy has to lie.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. I'd like to believe it, but I mean that's not really good enough evidence to say they weren't real.
Eric Davis is a crackpot researcher and is the one that's supposed to be interviewing, right? Interviewing Admiral Wilson about all this.
Well, I asked Eric to come on my show, and he declined.
Yeah, and the Wilson documents are written in screenplay format. Ask anybody who writes screenplays to look at those documents. They're written in screenplay format. And guess who got them? I'm told that Stephen Greer is the one who got those documents out of Edgar Mitchell's estate. So I'm sorry, if it came from Stephen Greer, I'm not trusting anything. If the story started with Stephen Greer, I'm not trusting anything. If the Admiral says these are fabrications and I can prove I wasn't in the state at the time, I believe him. And every time Richard Dolan starts talking about these Wilson documents, he's calling a career Navy veteran admiral a complete and total liar. And then he's making money talking about these documents.
Yeah,
I don't buy it.
I know. That's why I wanted to ask. Okay.
Sure.
Good.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of liars.
I know, man. It sucks.
It's kind of crazy. I just want to know who's Dolan working for that influenced him to waste his time for on that Wilson leaks thing, which I was telling him all along. I'm like, dude, why aren't you covering the information I sent you? Why are you wasting your time on this Wilson thing? I can go way more into depth on like even Anthony Brigalia's stuff with the Anthony Brigalia FOIAs and all the stuff that he's been doing on UFO explorations. It goes into way more research and on where the metals from Roswell went, for example, and who the labs were and the metallurgists experts within the military-industrial complex. It's Battelle.
Maybe he's just going for sensationalism, though, because he called those fake Wilson documents the UFO leak of the century. If that's not clickbait, I don't know what is.
It is.
He can't prove they're real. He can speculate that they are, but he can't prove it.
But it wasn't the biggest of the century, and it got all the attention as such. So now if I come out with, the real story and try to, clickbait it, people are going to be like, yeah, we already fell for this once before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why it sucks to lie.
And I'm told that Curt here from Theories of Everything is going to have Travis Walton on soon. So if you want to get questions, Kurt's a good guy, and he'll ask hard questions. He's really changing his attitude.
Yeah, well, he's done some good stuff.
This is great because Curt reached out to me after I had him on my channel, and he started saying, I'm going to ask you for like insights because he realized we got the scoop on all this stuff.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
Good for him. Yes, this is great because look at in the three biggest parts that he spends the most time on talking about in the whole interview is the number one is the Wilson memos by far, which is the biggest bullshit. Then Bob Lazar, and then the infighting within the UFO community, which is about the bullshit. It's about weeding out the weeds, man, and you're still trying to defend them. Just give it up, man.
I agree with you, Jeremy. Just give it the weeds. Pull them.
Pull them.
Burn
Corbell is no good, dude. Get rid of that dude. He has no place in ufology, and he.
Did you see the comments on his latest video drop? Oh, it's hilarious.
No.
I was going to do a whole show. People are just destroying him in the comments.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
about how stupid his
that
video
image
is.
That's
could be anything.
That was taken in the daytime, and Ryan wanted me to simulate what the tower looked like coming over the trees, so that's what I did.
Yeah, you did a great job, Scott.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Corbell posted a video.
This
these UFO video drops that he hypes up for weeks and then he drops it. The last one was nothing. Yeah, there's Jeremy with Travis himself.
Travis Walton.
There he is, man. I met him.
Okay, so as somebody that's a real outsider, didn't he talk about like a robot at some point in his story?
Biomechanical androids, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so for me, that's when my radar really just went, because I have no background in ufology except for, the last few 12 months. And so when he talked about that, I was like, okay, I just can't take him for representing the real world that I live in.
Stephen Greer too says there's biomechanical androids, and that's where all the alien abduction cases come from. The CIA is hoaxing people, pretending to abduct people by aliens, but they're biomechanical androids that are programmable.
The number of things I'm asked to believe by these people is just outstanding.
Yeah. 20 and back. Smoking crack.
20 and back while smoking crack. Yes.
That's it.
All the money that guy made, 20 and back. Holy shit.
His last course, the lawyer that wrote the course came out suing him, saying he made $700,000 selling the course. And he didn't even write the course. Corey Good did not write the course. Somebody else wrote the course. Then he tried to cut her out of the money he promised.
Wow.
It's great.
Hey, did any of you guys catch that new Netflix show that dropped a couple days ago?
I've been enjoying it so far. What's wrong yet?
Guys, if anyone knows
that history lesson,
that Emery Smith is on there. Oh my God. You got to
couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And Corbell and Knapp are on there too, saying that Bob Lazar's testimony is the most important testimony about real UFO crash retrievals.
Yes.
Oh gosh, those guys make you sick. It's all fucking disinformation.
So actually,
Corey Good loves he knows Jenny McCarthy. Whose bright idea was this? Her you take a hot chick and you put her on the radio where nobody could see her. Her only good quality is that she's a hot chick, right? And they put her on the radio. Yeah.
She's been into UFOs for quite some time, actually.
She's supposed to be doing a new TV show or something with Corey Good. We'll see.
She looks like
she looks like she's been into ufology, not ufology.
Her face in plastic.
She's on a downslope, dude. She's a downslope chick.
Anybody see Greer's interview with Demi Lovato?
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet. That's
They did a whole show. I think it came out yesterday or the day before.
Oh my God.
I'm going to cover that on my show.
I can't stand her.
Oh,
man.
this is it. Oh my God, dude.
Why would he choose her?
Huh?
I have no idea who did
She's a celebrity, and now she's going to start talking about UFOs.
Oh God, it's hard to look at. I just get mad when I see her face.
I know. Look at that butch haircut too. I'm sorry, but come on, honey. Like, you got money. Get a weave or something.
Did you?
She's like
an alien.
Isn't she like a social icon or social leader for like
Yeah.
lesbian
who the
woman
hell
or
knows?
something?
Yeah,
or
something like that, yeah.
transgender woman or something like that.
See, I didn't even know that. That would explain the butch haircut.
She has
I'm
too much
sorry,
damn
I
makeup on.
apologize.
How's that?
Sorry.
I don't know. I thought I
Her
don't know.
eyelashes
Nothing-
are spray painted on. Her eyebrows are spray painted on.
Well, unfortunately, there's no such thing as lesbians that look like the lesbians in pornos. Okay,
No.
if they just,
I'm gonna have
yeah.
to watch this because I'm judging her by the way she looks, and that's not all right. And I should really listen to her and what she has to say.
No, it matches.
Is she educated or she like really like naive on the topic?
Who is Demi
really
Lovato?
naive.
I don't even know.
She's
who
got to
this
be
is.
clueless.
She's a pop star.
Don't want to ruin it for you.
If she's
Oh,
a
she's
pop
a
star,
star.
then she's a hypnotized Hollywood like zombie. So who knows? But I'm gonna go check her out before I give her the benefit of the doubt. But but anyways, yeah, we'll go look at that. What else? What else is current news, man? There's lots going on in UFOlogy these days.
Hey, what about Avi Loeb? Did you guys
yeah.
catch him on that UFO podcast?
No, I didn't.
No, I
I listened
didn't.
to about half
It's
of
on
it.
my list to catch up to, though. I have it on a list.
I
literally
saw
have
him
a list here.
on what is it, Singularity Lab with Mike. So I saw Avi Loeb.
How do you think he all fits into the current context of UFOlogy? Because there's a lot of scientific criticism about his observations and conclusions. And I'm curious about what you all think about the possibility of a new UFOlogy version 2.0 based on what he thinks.
Yeah, you mean real science? It'll never happen, I don't think. But
Well, here's the thing, right? I actually reached out to them and let them know like a couple things because we have our own theories on all this as well. That a lot of this UFO stuff is turned out to be hoaxes from our deep investigations of a lot of cases, or either that or CIA activities that are being written, or military operations, or top secret research that's being written off as UFOs and stuff. So, especially with the preponderance of these encounters that, they're being all seen in these areas where electronic warfare technology is being tested by the military, and near like the SoCal range, and as we pointed out in other videos and investigations, right? So you're familiar with this, so this too, because there's a whole nother theory that these things are being faked by the military, and that this is all our technology that's been around for years.
cover for drone tech.
Yep, exactly.
Something in the vicinity of this. There's a lot of facilities in this area connected to Camp Pendleton, which is the main military base on the West Coast in the SoCal range, where a lot of this stuff has been spotted off of.
And there just happens to be a drone base right there, miles from where all the sightings are taking place.
Yeah,
right
so
here.
strange, that coincidence.
Yeah.
And this is Pyramid Cove.
It's our shit. It's our stuff.
Well, Vic was saying that. That guy Vic was saying that on one of your last podcasts, Jeremy, and I didn't get to talk to him about that. I wish I could have, but he was saying the same thing you were.
Who? Yeah, Victor.
We
I
started going into
right
this.
now. I'm trying to get him to come on, Victor Calero.
Because he's
Australia.
Because you got like the Galileo,
researcher.
you got Abby talking about,
He
where do
knows
we
his
set
shit,
these
man.
sensors up? Where do we set the things up to actually collect the data and get this information? And then I asked him, you have to think about this, and then you have to think about how you're going to distinguish, real objects from spoofing and faking and fakery and all this other stuff. And understand that these technologies exist that would give you these types of things. Like, I don't know. I wrote him a whole list of a bunch of different stuff, and I asked if he'd have time to meet with me, but I haven't heard back from him.
I'm surprised because you have such a science background, and so does he. I thought he would give you the courtesy of a conversation. I hope
Maybe he
would.
wants to praise the cash instead.
It's really curious.
He's on,
'cause
why
like
is
in
he on
Harvard-
these guys' show and not yours? That's what I want to know. Because you could talk to him about physics of these things and science, and these guys can't. They can't.
Steve, I think I can answer that question for you because it worried me about the podcast that I heard, which is that he only wants academics. And he's creating, from what I I heard in the subcontext of the conversation was that he'll create an insular bubble that academics will review whatever they generate and deal with it in terms of their institutionalized corporate academic structure. And they don't want outside input.
Makes sense, I guess.
I don't know. It's certainly curious because wasn't Harvard one of the?
I would say, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not wild about that. I think they should have outside input. Apologies to interrupt you.
So Harvard and UFOs, right? So wasn't another guy at Harvard part of the original MJ-12 too?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look up who Harvard's president during that whole time period was, but because
it was a Harvard astronomer that was supposedly part of MJ-12. Yeah.
Right. So Harvard astronomer, what was his name? I forget the Harvard astronomer.
And you also got John Mack. Remember, he almost got fired from Harvard for investigating UFO abduction cases, and he had to get Daniel Sheehan as a lawyer to defend his right to do that, and they backed off.
Yep.
So Harvard has some history of interest in UFOs and aliens, even on the fringe, in the form of John Mack,
Yeah.
His book about this maybe deep space probe is very intriguing. I'm not a scientist, but just as a person interested in alien life, I thought he had really compelling arguments for there might be some there with that object,
With Oumuamua?
Oumuamua, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did have some really interesting ideas and thoughts. I think there's some really rational approaches to the Galileo project that could produce, results. Like if the moon is somehow a useful object for extraterrestrial observation, what could be there?
Yeah.
Can we be using telescopes to look at the moon? More importantly, can we use AI to review imagery photographs of the moon for possible geometric structure? That's where I wish you would have gone with using funding, which was, okay, let's use the data that we've already collected. No new data. Let's go back in history. Let's take an examination of what we have, and let's apply the scientific method to that. And then let's present those findings, because that can be a discernible conclusion about history. And then we can move forward with new technologies based upon those conclusions.
So I might be jumping on a panel with Daniel Sheehan on the 20th of August. I'm still trying to work to set that up right now. So hopefully I want to do more of these panels and I'm willing to talk to anyone in ufology, especially the people that I disagree with, because I would love for Corbell to come on and change my mind and show me all the evidence,
Well, I have an open invitation to him. He's claimed on Twitter recently that he has the DD-214 of this CIA deathbed confession guy.
Good
and
luck.
I think he just backed himself into a corner, because I will still assert that guy's complete and total fraud, because it came from Linda Moulton Howe, and she's been caught how many times? Me and Dan were just talking about this. She got caught with Spartan 1 and 2 being fake Navy SEALs, so it's reasonable to assume that this CIA deathbed confession guy is fake too. And Dan and I were talking about, I have a write-up where she gives herself an out, claiming that he taught signals training and cryptography under an assumed name given to him by the CIA. So basically, if you try to check this guy's military background, you're not going to be able to, because he worked for the CIA and they gave him a fake name. Great, give us the fake name, and we'll check that too. They're never going to prove that guy is who he says he was. And Richard Dolan stood in front of cameras and said he is who he says he was. And they can't prove it. Now, Corbell's bluffing, I think, saying he has the DD-214, and I say post it. Post it.
So I wonder if he's the one. I wonder if Corbell was the one who, told Richard Dolan, yeah, I checked this guy out. I've got his DD-214.
I think so. Yeah.
And that's why
there was not enough time to file FOIA or nothing.
Which is interesting why Richard...
They were up investigating UFO sightings, I believe, at Lake Michigan or somewhere.
Yeah, Dan's got the good on this thing.
His real name. I'm not going to say anonymous real name. He's in the northern portion of Minnesota, and it was cold out. They got a phone call from Ron Garner Go interview this guy. What's his name? Richard Dolan throws Ron Garner on the bus. How convenient. Ron Garner died 2 years ago of cancer, bladder cancer. Ron Garner was heavily in the UFO industry, whatever you want to call it. He produced
And
videos.
he sold the book on this too.
Yeah, he did. He's the one that brought Dan Burrish out. He's the one that had Michael Schrack go and investigate Dan Burrish, and they did a video called the J-Rod or something like that. There's a number of videos that Ron Garner was involved in. Ron Garner had money. He was involved in ufology, so it was convenient to say, well, Ron Garner, was kind of behind this. That's what I got from Dolan.
Yeah, he blamed other people. Just like the Roswell slides. He blamed Don Schmidt and Tom Carey for the Roswell slide hoax.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I trusted them.
He doesn't take any at all responsibility for nothing. Then he had enough nerve to talk shit about Ed Fouché the other night. By the way, Steve, Jeremy and I were trying to find that video earlier that you did.
Yeah, here, I'm going to play that.
Debunk Ed and I did on Anonymous. Where is that?
It's called The Dirt on Richard Dolan, and it's in my Truth Seekers channel. I can post it.
Okay, that's actually the one that I sent to Curt.
That's the one where I changed the timestamps and all that stuff around after he modified the video.
Yeah, Jeremy Corbell changed the video length to screw up the timestamps because Dan nailed him on that guy being a fraud. Nailed him.
Oh, did I nail him? It took me weeks to do that, and then I'll never forget it when I go to watch it, and they're like, hey, the time's not matched up. Like, well, the video was never freaking 19 minutes before. It was always 21 or 24 minutes. I can't remember which one it was. And then I look, and I'm like, I thought, you little bastard, you cut like 3 minutes out of the video so my timestamps don't match up. Because I had it on ATS, and I had it on the Living Moon. It's still on the Living Moon under Big Pappy 51, one of my other names.
Yeah, I'm going to get that back. I'm going to get that out, and we'll do it again because this topic is hot right now.
Let's
man.
go
If you'll do
over
it, please come over my
week.
channel. We'll do it. And I got breaking news. Oh, man. This guy claimed that all his CIA stuff where he was seeing the aliens started in 1958, but we have substantial and supportive evidence that he was discharged from the Army in 1954. So I'm not saying he wasn't in the Army. I'm saying he is not who he says he was. He says he was in the Army, and in 1958 he started working for the CIA. He was discharged from the Army in 54, and he was doing something else.
He was out before Area 51 was Area 51. Area 51 wasn't formed until 55, 56. The Navy had it prior to that. It was a weapons depot, and they just kept weapons on Groom Lake proper. And he says he went down to S4 and opened a garage door, and there was an alien sitting in there. Remember that shit? He watched too many Dan Burrish and too many
Bob Lazar videos.
Lazar videos, and then mixed a little bit of all this other crap in with it.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question. What do you guys think of the Corso disclosure information? Is that bunk?
I think so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems shaky.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, most of the projects that he claimed came from alien technology were well on their way to being invented or already invented.
Right.
When he claims that he, gave them the secrets that they used to develop things like the laser, fiber optics, Kevlar. All this stuff was well underway, and it can be proven through scientific papers. And Jeremy's better at that than me, but I looked a lot into these things and went, the timelines, nothing matches up with the timelines that he's talking about.
Yeah.
They're already working on the transistor and everything,
Oh, I'm so glad I asked that question because it's been the back of my mind. Like, it's so much work to go figure this stuff out. But you go hear it talked about right now, and it's like, okay, hey man, there's something credible. Like, he's former military. Yeah,
seems great. And he was I
want to believe
for foreign technology. It sounds like a great, he could really have the real deal info.
Yeah,
the book falls apart when you check the timelines of these inventions that he claimed that all was Roswell tech.
Thank you for answering that.
That made a lot of people believe in it because of his credentials.
And Day After Roswell sounds like a great story, and it is a great story, but it's, another of these stories that really, you first read it and you believe it, but then if you do some digging, you just get pissed off and disappointed.
Oh,
At least
crazy
I
cash,
do. I'm like, that dude owes me $12.95. I bought this shit book. This book is fake. It's not real. This shit didn't happen. I want my $12.95 back, but the guy's dead. But if I ever see his son, I'm asking his son. Sometimes his son works UFO conferences and shit. If I see his son, I'm going to tell him, your dad is dead and owes me $13, bro. I'm from the mean streets of Philadelphia. Get your wallet out right now. I want my $13, bro.
You're that guy on those skis on that mountain chasing
I want my
after,
$2.
Yeah, I want my $2. Yeah. Oh, what movie is that?
Better Off
Dead. With
Better Off
yeah.
Dead. Great movie.
Job,
Great.
man.
I love that growing up.
Yeah.
Hey, special thanks to Victor Wag for the $20 super chat.
Praise the cash, friends.
Yes,
Praise the
they're,
king.
some are getting our message. Apparently, the Wall Street Journal have posted some stuff. Not digging super deep, but they're at least getting the message and working it out into the social consciousness in ways that is editorially acceptable. I guess.
Editorial acceptable. That's a great
Editorially.
Yeah,
Editorially.
very diplomatically done, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I kind of also like your method too, Steve, of calling them all frauds and just like laughing in their face, like saying they're doing it for the money.
You know, I get a lot of trouble because some people, they say, why would I listen to anything that you talk about? You're just a parody channel, because they see the masks and us making fun of these guys.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I just get frustrated and I go, you know what? I'm just going to laugh about this tonight, because why the hell do I waste so much time of my life on this garbage? It's garbage. So much of it's garbage.
Most of it is.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that episode of Martin Willis last night with Ross Coulthart? How do you say his name?
Yeah. However, yeah.
Yeah, he did it. They did it. That's a good episode if you want to check that out with Martin Willis.
Oh, all right.
He talks about a lot of really cool stuff. That quote I had today about the mutilations with the graphic I made, that came from that show.
Where can I find that?
It's Martin Willis show on yeah, there it is right there. That's the show.
It was one from last night. Oh, Ross Coulthart. Okay,
Yeah.
right here, yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's a good show.
Yeah, I've liked what he's had to say recently, honestly.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, he's made a good point to say that the Air Force is trying their best to shut everything down. That we might have an entire cold freeze on the entire.
You know, I think the universe is trying to get me to talk to that guy, because I can't tell you in the past 2 weeks how many people have messaged me or sent me links, and I haven't had time yet. You know, and I don't have any of his books, but I heard this guy's pretty good, so I want to check him out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the real deal from Australia, I believe.
Well, hey, I got two friends from Australia that are great UFO researchers, so I want to meet this guy too.
Yeah, he's on the 60 Minutes in Australia.
Cool.
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed
Crazy.
Australia news programming in general. Frankly,
I think it's done on purpose. That they flooded the market with frauds and liars, and it's been done intentionally to cover up the real stuff.
You and I agree on that 100%. And
I
I think a lot
totally
of it is
agree with that.
black budget technology that they're covering up. If people are looking for aliens, they're not going to find the trillions of dollars that they're spending on these weapon systems that they're developing.
Right
You
on
think
the
they don't
nose,
have
bro.
stealth blimps miles up in the sky monitoring us? If you don't think so, then you're stupid, because they see everything and they've got technology they're not showing us.
Yep.
There's recent stories now that this social technology in China, this social credit system, is going to slowly be implemented in the United States in one form or another. That's scary. Good luck with that. You know,
don't get your-
you
you don't get your
jaywalked. You
check.
don't get your mortgage. You don't get your check this week because you jaywalked. It's
That's it.
crazy.
So these guys get in the Wall Street Journal. These other frauds in ufology get out there on millions of views on YouTube. They get promoted to the top of the algorithms, and meanwhile, people are complaining. They never tells me when my stream starts. Never gives them a notification. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But Anyways, anything else? What else is going on? This is interesting. Certainly would like to hear what Dolan has to say in response to that new questions that have been raised. And definitely go and check out that interview that he did with Curt Jaimungal.
Hey, can I say something, or maybe just put something out to you guys to get your thoughts on it? From my perspective, Jeremy, I tried to say this early on when we first started talking, which is that I feel like everybody in this sort of counterculture of ufology has consolidated about 200 years of conspiracy into the modern day moment of what UFOs could be. And it's so murky, it's so hard to get through. Do you all get that sense?
Well,
not anymore. I get it. I get it for the people that are just getting into it. But for me personally, I'm like, I know what I have my mind on the goal, and it's to prove if the Nazis and if the Nazis really figured this stuff out back in the 1940s, then we should be able to do it in our laboratory with all the equipment and the material science and everything we have today at our disposal for wicked cheap. There's no reason that we can't figure this out in our laboratory if they were working on kinematic effects or as Adamski said, those microwave gravity couplers or whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
No, I get that, man, and that's what I really like. That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. But to get and in all honesty, that thread of the history is incredibly interesting to me. And
they had a lot of ideas. If you go back in the history, there's a lot of ideas, and these programs were classified, and there was research that was done. But
what the fuck did we do bringing over Nazi scientists, incorporating them into NASA, and effectively building the military-industrial complex out of fascist Nazi scientific culture?
They did it better than anybody in the world. You can't blame them. That was that's like a basketball team. They got the Michael Jordan of crazy, unethical human space science. Right?
I get it, but that just got infected into the mainstream of all of capitalism. Like, what if the move wasn't winning the war? What if the move was infecting capitalism with fascism and authoritarianism along those lines? From what I understand, they compartmentalize all of those innovations within the different divisions of NASA or JPL or whatever, and then once pressure got put on them, they shipped it out to private industries, and then it's inaccessible to the American public or anybody that wants to know. It makes sense. It's smart.
It was a good gamble, though, because if you think about it, Wernher von Braun really was responsible for us winning the space race, and they knew that he was worlds ahead of everybody else as far as rocket technology and designing rockets.
Well, so except for one person,
whitewashed his whole history. Oh, remember all those people in England he killed with his death rockets? Forget about that. Now he's a great space scientist.
So I think the dark history that people like Will Elizondo talk about with scientists is that there's a dark legacy for how we got to where we are, which was Wernher von Braun came over and he
and 800
other at least that and they were in these major organizations that were in charge of war initiatives and electricity initiatives and all of these things.
Nuclear bombs, missiles, defense systems.
No one told us this.
Yeah.
No one told us this is how history played out.
Why don't they teach Operation Paperclip in school?
Yeah.
In the United States. They don't tell you that. They tell you boom, boom, sis, boom, rah. We got to the moon first. We beat the Russians. Yes. They don't tell you how we did it.
How many paperclip scientists can you name? We should go to universities, even MIT. I should do this. I should go to Harvard and MIT and ask.
Yeah, change my mind. Yeah, do it, bro. That would make great videos. That would be great videos.
How many paperclip scientists can you name? Wernher von Braun.
Honestly, I can only name a few without a reference.
Yeah, it's hard for me, but like, there's a number of people
Some of
that
the
I'm really
names
curious
are
about.
German.
I've got a notebook.
Yeah, it's interesting. You start digging into that rabbit hole, especially the ones that are hiding their faces in that big picture. You know, there's a couple that are hiding their faces in both different versions of this photograph that exists.
Oh man, here we go. Yeah, it seems like, and they all like sort of brothered in like people that they knew were intelligent in other divisions, and so it's like when, from my understanding, pre-World War II, Germany and the Greater Prussia Network just had an entire global network of financing for scientists, and they had, prior to World War II, had a mainstream around the world about what people were doing. And so when it came to these innovations, where'd they come from? They financed it before the war, apparently. And they brought it all back, and they were trying to, I guess, get it built in Germany. And I suppose the only way this makes sense is that their manufacturing capabilities, their centralized manufacturing capabilities, could not outcompete the rest of the world, and that's how they lost. And that's why, if they had these advanced technologies, they still lost. Sorry to interrupt you, Jeremy.
No. This is a group discussion, man. That's what it's about.
Can I ask a question then? If that's the case, what about their flying saucers? Is that bunk?
I can answer that. The major stories about Nazi flying saucers were all fictitious, made-up stories that first aired in German tabloid magazine, the equivalent of German National Enquirers, and the source of them was a literal like guy who believed that in the Fourth Reich and the Nazis would rise again, and he was a Nazi himself. So, but nobody's ever been able to prove any of those stories were real or any of those craft ever actually flew. And most of them, if they're scientifically tested, like the repulsion engine, Victor Schauberger's, come up fake. Hal Puthoff tested it. Oh, gee, we must be missing parts because we show zero lift when we spin this thing or whatever they tested it with.
And didn't the guy who promoted a lot of these stories was a guy named George Adamski, who the picture that he used ended up being a dentist's lamp?
No, it was an oil lamp, oil Sears lamp. Yeah, Dan's got that goods on that. It was an old Sears oil lamp.
I'm the one that found the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I posted a graphic.
Yeah, that's the top of an oil lamp, and the glass globe would go underneath here. Dan had the goods on that. He nailed that.
Yeah, I actually had the actual model and everything on a file.
You send it to me. I'll see if I can't dig it out, but I can't tonight.
Yeah, I have it in my UFO files. Hang on.
Hey, Jeremy, I gotta
I'll never
get going.
forget seeing that damn thing.
Hey, Rich, thanks for jumping on with us, man. I might.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce out of here too.
Yeah, thanks.
I got my kids tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
We're almost there.
Rich, cool meeting you, man.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, everybody.
You ever see a guy named Solar Marshall on your chat? That's me, pretty much.
Yeah, he'll be in there busting your balls. Go in there and tell him his show sucks, Solar Marshall. Do it. Do it.
Oh,
go in there and say, Steve says your show sucks.
Ask Steve. I've been busting people's balls for years, man.
Hey guys, this is Rich. Thanks for coming on, Rich, and go check out Rich's channel on GUFO. Right over here, he just did this interview tonight with Michael Horn. Man, go check that out if you want a good laugh. That was great, man.
It was
read the
fun.
live chats. That was. This is the community at its finest.
I like this round table, having Rich a part of it's good because we need these skeptics that are thinkers to see what's really going on. Are we?
Yeah, I'm glad Rich is here too.
This is a
I'm
good
glad
group
I'm
right here, man. We need to have these round table discussions here and there to put people in their place. So they
And
don't
also
know.
use all of our channels to amplify these important things.
Damn right.
We don't have as big a bullhorn as some of those UFO celebrities,
Oh,
but
no.
8 of us together do. You know,
Jeremy,
team up time.
Jeremy,
Try
I
ignoring
sent
us
you another
now.
graphic.
And this is Steve Cambian's channel on Truth Seekers. If you want to go check out his channel, Steve.
Yeah, just search
Steven.
search the search bar Truth Seekers and look for the strange guy in sunglasses. That would be me, the host, and you are most welcome.
You and Rich have been tearing it up, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah,
So I've been doing every
we got a
night.
healthy
I'll
competition
Rich, I'm
going,
going
though, right,
I'm going
Rich?
tonight.
I gotta bury your show. And we gotta
Hey.
figure something out. Listen, I'm kind of pissed at him. Let's get something off my chest. I started noticing, a lot of people were listening to both of our shows and bouncing back and forth. So Rich was on at 10 o'clock and I was on at 9 o'clock, and I could see my live chat went to shit at 10 o'clock when he started. So then I moved my show to 8 o'clock so that I could be done before he started. What did he do? He moved the show to 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Rich. I'm trying here to get a good live chat. Like,
All right.
bro.
I don't think it was intentional, man.
No.
No, I know. Maybe
No.
it wasn't
So let's
intentional,
figure
but
it out. Where
that happened.
do you want me to go back? I can move it back
We-
to 7.
Let's work
No,
it out.
I don't care. We'll talk.
You guys
offline.
want to have like
We'll
the
work,
back-to-back?
But it's probably better if we don't try to compete and be like.
I'm not.
You know how many times we're both starting at the same time and ending
don't
at the
know.
same time?
I never
That's
look
shitty.
at I never look at anybody's show. I just do what I do. That's why.
I know
I'm
you're a
selfish.
busy guy, so I forgive you. It's all good.
I
I'm
don't
just
mean
saying,
that.
I moved my show, and I went, I don't
Hey.
want to compete with him, and then you moved it to where
You
I
know
moved
what?
mine.
From now
Jeremy
on,
and
you
I
guys.
were watching both of you tonight while him and I.
I
while
know.
Jeremy
You know
and I
how many
were on the
people were
freaking
bouncing back
telephone.
and forth, telling me I
was
was
crazy.
getting messages like, "You ought to hear Rich's show. This
Yeah.
Michael Ward is
Going back to
crazy."
Rich's show, they just trashed Corbell again. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, Erica and I are only on one night a week, so we're not
What night is that?
every Friday night.
What
Oh,
time?
cool.
4 Pacific, 7 Eastern.
I gotta save that.
Saturday. I just switched to
Yeah,
Saturday.
and she's definitely better looking than all of us
Oh,
men
God.
show
Oh, yeah.
hosts.
Yeah,
So,
damn
yeah,
right.
God
She
bless you, Scott Brown. I want your job, bro. I'm coming in there as the co-host. Forget about Scott Brown.
No, don't forget about Scott Brown, man. Go subscribe to him and Eric
Yeah, for sure.
Classified. So yeah, thank you all you guys for coming on and joining us, man.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
And
Thank you, man.
and have a great night. We'll see you on the next time. And you know what? In the future, yeah, I'll send you guys when I do these panels. I'll
Yeah,
send
let's
you guys.
try to plan it in advance so that
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
work it out.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
We can
all do one.
simulcast on every. You
or at
host
least
it,
send
Jeremy.
or at least send out a link before you start the show so we can jump on each other's streams and help cross
Yeah,
promote.
yeah.
You know
Or
what I mean?
do the simulcast. Jeremy, you got the biggest channel. You host it, and then all of us other show hosts will just go to your channel and share it on ours and be a guest on yours, but it'll be playing on everybody's show at once. Let's do an event like that.
That's
Oh,
a great
cool.
idea. Just
I'll
once
work
a
on
month,
it with
maybe
you.
once a
Sure.
month.
Yeah, once a month. That'd be great.
I'm
I
gonna
would
start
love to
trying to
do
get. There's a lot more channels I want to start doing that with, not just the skeptics. Although I like to keep the skeptics in one group, I want to kind of branch out to some of these other groups. But I mean, not too many people. There's some people that just have no filter, and I just I'm not gonna.
You got to be careful now with the algos. Praise the YouTube algorithms. Please find favor in GUFO and Erica Luke and Scott Brown show and GUFO and Richard's show. Please find favor in us YouTube algorithm and help us to reach more viewers. Praise the AI algorithm Google gods. Amen.
Praise.
Every day.
Yes.
Every
Amen.
day I say that prayer.
And also the Martin Willis live show. Go check that out. So thank you guys, and have a good night. We got to do a weekly panel like this. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. At least.
Tell you, simulcast will hit everybody. We will get the word out better. Simulcast. I don't care about whatever goes on. I'll show up.
You can't cross the streams, man.
You
We're gonna cross the streams. Yeah.
Cross the streams. Do it.
We can work out the details though, because there's some important things, Jeremy. Like, let's say I'm simulcasting and I'm getting super chats on my show. You gotta let me. You gotta like stop so that everybody getting super chats can thank everybody or
my
something. That'll be fun, man.
Oh my
No,
god!
my
Each
God,
one
it'd
of
never
us, they'd be-
stop.
They would never stop. People would just be throwing cash at us the whole time, asking ridiculousness.
Well,
And then the
praise
CIA
the
would
cash,
get along.
friends.
They'll just send us $1 million $2 super chats with the same questions about.
No, here's a better idea then.
all
Here's
get
a
them
better
at
idea because you
different
want to
times,
recognize those people. We do the simulcast, but then every show host involved when the stream ends, starts their own stream and then thanks everybody if they super chatted or whatever, or talks to
You can
their
go to your
crowd.
monetized section.
Yeah, we
and
do.
read 'em all.
Every show host does a wrap up on their own channel after the main whole thing gets
Yeah,
done.
we'll just drop it all out. Yeah. You
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
We'll make an event. I'm making a poster. I'm making a poster tomorrow for this. I'm getting show
All right.
host. Scott Brown, are you and Erica in?
I'm in. I'd have to.
He can't speak for the hot chick boss he has, but maybe if the hot chick boss says okay.
Yeah,
And Rich, you're in, right? I'll put you on the poster.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we got Scott and GUFO, and I think we could get CW Channer and a few other channels.
Really?
I'll start sending messages and making the poster, and I'll make it real nice so everybody will want to be on it. You know.
Let's
Start
like
with a few.
we got to start an organic UFO community, and we're gonna oust all the fraudsters out of our circle. And
From your mouth
expose
to
them,
God's
man.
ears, brother.
We got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The forces.
There's more than enough real information out there that we can focus on. We
Damn
don't have
right.
to.
House cleaning time.
I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys
Thanks,
later.
guys.
Fantastic. It was beautiful.
I'm going to bounce out of here, too. Thank you for having me, Jeremy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeremy. See you
Later, guys.
Praise
later.
the cash,
Awesome.
everybody.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. All right,
Later, bro.
Carl and Dan. Let's. I'm going to end this broadcast here. I want to just give a quick shout out to some people in my own live chat here. Matt Wright, thanks. Yeah, hit the like button. That helps us with the algorithm too. Help us beat the UFO algorithm with some organic UFO community support. Definitely. Thank you so much, guys, UFO enthusiasts. It's good to see everyone here, man. Sorry if I didn't mention your name or get to you, Mike Turber. Thanks. We got to get you on a show too, man, to talk to, man. I've been dying to get you on to talk. So totally. Even people that are interested from the audience, man. Matt, I sent you a link, but you didn't make it obviously tonight, but definitely in the future. And we'll get more of you guys on from the audience too, who want to. Community contribution is always key, because chances are if you're watching this, you're into it. You may even know some stuff that we don't, and that's always appreciated when we get new information, because that's what we rely on our audience for. So yeah,
We got like a gang kind of right now going on that seems to be pretty cool. I like it. We have a defense team. Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a roast Mike Turber live. We'll get me and Dan. We'll get Mike on, and we'll roast him. UFO hoaxers.
We got a good thing going on here, man.
Great.
The only thing is, a couple weeks I go back to work on second shift. I'll only be around the weekends, so I got to make that paper though, buddy.
Hey man, we all got to. I've been working too. I've been working pretty. That's when you don't see me sometimes for a while. I don't stream often. I'm busy on jobs and stuff. So
yeah, I got like the best job I ever got in my life, so I can't walk away from this.
That's amazing.
Very interesting too. What happened, Jeremy knows.
If anyone in the audience knows anyone in Rhode Island that needs tile done, or southeastern Mass, hit me up. I'm a contractor, and I will do some contracting work for you. So let me know. That's what I've been doing for money, because I'm pretty good at it. So if you got floors or any kind of thing you want installed, I'll build you some cool stuff, and we can hang out and talk aliens. So anyone knows anyone in Rhode Island, let them know. Contractor.
Let's just hope there's not another shutdown coming. Let's just hope that.
You can find me on Rhode Island Builders Association.
It's getting weird. So
If you want, I'm a registered licensed contractor. That's my license number. Go check me out. All right. Later, guys.